Okay guys, welcome back to 2 Pro Season 4. This is the Season 4 preview, and basically we're going to reveal the kind of plan that I've had the last couple of tournaments. Probably actually started last year when I thought of a system that we could run in the game where we could have an injury system, and a way of sort of putting that into the game, not obviously in the game, but basically doing it ourselves. Um, and basically what we've got I better start this timer because I need to know how. Right, timer started. Injury system. So implementing some kind of idea that we could run an injury system and have it in the season so that some tournaments we're going to be injured, we're not going to be able to play the normal game. So we're not going to be able to hit it as long, and we're going to have to maybe think a bit more about placing it up the fairway, and maybe even not being able to reach par fives would be out of the question. Par fours, a long par four, we might be even not be able to reach because we've incurred an injury. So to incorporate that into the game and just to make the season, just different, just mix it up a little bit, and basically. How we do that, we've got items that we need would be a scorecard and a pen or a pencil just to keep track of how many fairways and greens. The key here is fairways and greens hit during the round. That's where we're aiming the injury system off of. And basically, we need 3 dice. So the dice determines your injury or your fairways and greens hit count, and basically we roll 1 dice at the start, and that's going to determine how many dice we actually roll. So it's either going to be between number between 1 and 3, 4, 5 and 6 would determine a re-roll. So 1 to 3 determines how many dice that's included in your FG count roll. So obviously 1 would be the easiest setting, which would give you 1 dice. So you're going to roll between a 1 and a 6, which would be easy. If you roll 2, which would be 2 dice, that's going to give you a number between 2 and 12. So that would be like a medium setting. And obviously you roll 3. You roll 3 dice, and that's going to give you anywhere between 3 and 18. So that's your difficulty level in your FG count. So you roll, just say for example, and this is an example here, you roll 2, right? So that's your first roll, and that determines how many dice. So I would then roll 2 dice. And just say for instance I rolled 9, that would give me an FG count of 9 fairways and greens to hit during that round. So basically that's a number we have to get to avoid an injury. So 9, 10, 11 upwards to 18. I mean, you're probably not going to actually hit all 18 fairways and greens. So if it's a par 5 or a par 4, you've got to hit the fairway, and you've got to hit the fairway. You can't hit the fringe or the rough. It's got to be fairway, right? If it's a par 3, you've got to hit the green. Again, it's got to be the green. You can't hit the fringe or anywhere else, bunker. It's got to be fairway, and it's got to be green to get that count, right? So say we roll the 2 dice and we get a 9. Now that determines that's the number we've got to hit, that or more, to avoid injury. And we've got, basically we're going to have 3 levels of injury. We've got minor, we've got a medium injury, and then the worst of all, we've got the major injury. So if we say for instance we roll the 9, we play the round and we get 8, so that means we would incur a minor injury because we're 1 below the target. 2 below the target, so we get 7, would actually be a medium injury for the next round of golf. And then obviously 6 and below would be a major injury. So if we roll 15, say, and we get 10, well, we're well below the target, so we'd pick up the major injury, and that's how we determine the level of injury that we get off the Fairways and Greens dice roll. So the more we go below it, the worse injury we get. Now basically the first round, technically the first round would actually be playing fully fit, and if we don't get the FG count in that round, so for rounds 2, 3 and 4, well, if we make the cut, we could miss the cut, but for the remainder of that tournament, we'd play that tournament in whatever injury we picked up on the basis of our FG count, if we were above or below, and we'd play that tournament in that injury status. Now basically what would happen is the injury, we would, if we were picked up a major injury, that's going to last for 3 weeks. A medium injury would last 2 weeks, and a minor injury would only last for that tournament. So if we hit the major injury, we'd basically the week after that, or the next tournament up, would be major injury in that tournament. The next tournament would be medium, sorry, and then the next tournament after that we would be minor, and then we would be fully fit for the next one. So basically your injury system rolls up to the next. So if you rolled medium for this tournament, we'd play the rest of that tournament in a medium injury, and then the next tournament we would actually move up to the minor injury and play that tournament in minor injury, and then the week after that we'd be fully fit. But then what we would do is we would roll the dice for the FG count for that first round again, and the whole system kicks back in. So if we made our Fairways and Greens hit count in that tournament, then we'd be fully fit for that whole tournament, and then the next tournament, first round, we'd do the same again. So basically we're just rolling a dice. We need to make that number. If we don't make the number, we become injured, and that's basically it. As I say, I'll probably write this all down so that you can see it in the video description. It's going to take me probably a while to write it out, but it'll explain it probably better than how I'm explaining it just now, because it seems complex, but it's actually fairly easy. So that's basically the injury system and how we get it. Now the injury system itself, we're basically going to use the attribute bonuses and the club selections to give us a kind of handicap system. That's probably the best way of describing it. And it's basically, the attribute side of it is based on the strength indicator there at 65. That's a major injury setup. So basically, I'll explain the major injury setup. So we would go for ultra precision, finesse, Mr. Lucky and pure stroke. Now you can randomise that any way you like, but you cannot go over the strength number 65. That's your major injury strength indicator level. You can't go, you can change that. For instance, I say Mr. Lucky, I could go Magician gives me 66. No, see 64, 66, 60, any attribute that's probably more associated with accuracy and stuff like going for the greens, power, centre cut, that's all kind of strength. So if you went for Houdini there, right, you could play that 64, 65, as long as it doesn't go over 66 even. As long as it doesn't go too much beyond 67, 68 maybe. but I prefer 65 or 64. So that would be the setting. So you can change any one of those attribute settings, but you cannot go over the strength indicator. That is an absolute must. So for a minor, medium injury, sorry, we would set up, to get to the page here. So for a medium injury, we could probably keep the Houdini there, because I think this came out at 77. So the aim here for a medium injury is strength of 75. So we go balanced. So that's up there, and precision. So we change finesse, and there's precision. Now that gives us 76. So I could probably actually, let's just see what we get. Oh, perfect shot maker, right? So I'll probably actually change that. Balanced, precision. What we've got, Houdini. I need to find a place to write this. I'll put Houdini. I'm writing this down, by the way, in case you think I'm. And that one would be shot maker. So these are probably two settings that give you just slightly less in the way of power. Now that's our setup for a medium injury, 74. Again, you can't go above 75. So you can change any one of those, but that's probably the setting that gives you 74 strength. There probably is other settings, but for me, that's what I'm going to use for my thing. And finally, it would be for a medium injury, it would be balanced, and then I've got power, and that should give us, and it gives us 81. I think I had pure stroke and Mr. Lucky, but I'd probably just stick with that. But that can't go above 85. So you're basically 65 major injury strength, can't go above 75 medium, and 85 for the minor injury. And that's basically, that's your attribute settings. And then we would basically change the clubs. Now I'm going to go into the clubs in the next video because I'm probably kind of running out of time here. And that basically explains the levels of injury, how you get it, so on and so forth. So that'll conclude this video. So join us for the next video. We're probably going to do a test roll, and we're going to show you a major injury, what it's like, and how it is to play on the course. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you for the next video. See you soon.